4 months after Clayton Lockett's execution, Oklahoma's Department of Public Safety released the findings of its investigation today. 2 News anchor Max Resnik attended a news conference in Oklahoma City. He joins us live now with a close-up look at that report. Max?
The report states that the IV line in Clayton Lockett's vein presented the most problems during his execution, but state officials say that the drug cocktail did do its job. According to the 32-page investigation by the Department of Public Safety released Thursday, the viability of the IV access point in Clayton Lockett's vein was, quote, the single greatest factor that contributed to the difficulty in administering the execution drugs, end quote. The drugs, though, worked, according to Public Safety Commissioner Michael C. Thompson.
The drugs worked. At the end of the day, despite the circulation issues that we had, the drugs did what they were designed to do.
Another contributing factor in the difficulties surrounding Lockett's execution, according to the report, was the size of the needle used in accessing the femoral vein. The physician wanted something longer than what the prison had available.
Did it play a factor? I can't sit here and say that that was the only factor, but I would say that was at least contributing.
Another issue facing the execution team was the decision to cover Lockett's groin area, where the physician and paramedic placed the IV. At that point, no one could monitor the IV. As the physician noticed something wrong with Lockett, the sheet was lifted to find swelling larger than a golf ball. The report also detailed a number of recommendations for the DOC. Included, the IV should remain visible during all phases of an execution. After an hour of unsuccessful IV attempts, the DOC should contact the governor to brief him or her on the status of the execution and potentially request a postponement of the execution. An additional set of drugs should be on hand in the event the execution team runs out. All supplies, including various types of needles, should be available. And contingency protocols should be in place if an issue arises during the execution. The state's next execution is set for November 13th. That's when Charles Warner is scheduled to die. Now, Commissioner Thompson says he does not know when the Department of Corrections will begin implementation of the recommended changes in their protocol, but he does say that the process should not be rushed in time for that execution. Live in the 2 News Center, I'm Max Resnik.
Thank you, Max. Going in depth now, an attorney for a group of prisoners on Oklahoma's death row is speaking out about the state's investigation. Dale Bates says, quote, the state's internal investigation raises more questions than it answers. The report does not address accountability. It protects the chain of command. Once the execution was clearly going wrong, it should have been stopped, but it wasn't. Whoever allowed the execution to continue needs to be held accountable.